What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends. And you guys may have been wondering where I have been. I've been taking a little bit of a break from the game. Started toward the end of 2021. Kind of went through the new year and start of 2022. Just a lot of stuff going on. Christmas, New Year's, vacation, some other cool things. Recently went up north to surprise my best friend for his 40th birthday. Took a little detour through West Virginia, my old state where I kind of grew up. Went and did some hiking, some sightseeing, took a bunch of photos. Gonna probably do a separate video kind of showing off all that, but I'll throw up some shots here so you guys can kind of see where I was. Just kind of out exploring a little bit, just enjoying some solitude, recharging the batteries a little bit. Had a really good trip. Although I unfortunately maybe under the weather a little bit, so hopefully I don't sound too bad here, but it's possible I may have contracted this amazing little virus that we're all dealing with right now, but hopefully I did not, and we'll see what happens over the next couple of days, but definitely monitoring the situation, and we'll see what happens. But end of 2021 was a little bittersweet because despite a good Christmas, my boss at work did finally pass away. He had been battling pancreatic cancer for a couple of years now, and it's he made it a little bit longer than we thought he would. It's nice that he was able to get it through Christmas with his family, I guess, for one last time. But even though it was expected, it was still really tough time for everybody. So we're still kind of dealing with that at work. They haven't really announced too many plans for what's going on, if there's going to be a funeral or anything, because obviously with everything going on in the world right now, it's kind of tough to plan events like that. So it was a little rough. It was a couple days after Christmas that happened, but I still decided to go ahead and go on my trip anyways, because I was like, you know what, I need to go up north and just see my friends and family. My family is basically my really close friends, so it was a much needed trip. Just enjoyed taking a break, and I did not play much Raid at all. I actually have not been playing much Raid at any time recently, and even though we just had clan versus clan and everything, I've only played the game for a couple hours over the last few days. Over my vacation, all I really did was log in and tried to get my clan boss runs done every day, because that's really all I had time to do. I didn't want to waste time playing the game when I was trying to hang out and catch up with some people I hadn't seen in about 2 years. So it's kind of what the focus of this video is going to be about, is just taking a break from Raid and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this game in 2022. Because I got to be honest with you guys right now, I'm not really enjoying Raid at all. And actually prior to New Year's, I was somewhat considering just almost quitting altogether. I've kind of postponed that a little bit and taken on a very casual play style to the game recently. Because the game's just not really it's not fun anymore, I think is the bottom line. And I mentioned this when the Hydra content came out, if this was going to be the direction that Raid was going to push things in, that I really thought you would see a lot of the longtime players start to get disinterested in the game. Because what I noticed, especially being on vacation and not playing the game, was like how much extra time I actually had during the day. Raid takes up hours every single day, especially if you play more than one account. If you're trying to make content for the game, it's just something that you have to spend a lot of time with. And when they added the Hydra boss in, that actually has extended the playtime of the game quite substantially, just to get that good key even on the normal Hydra boss. A lot of people are spending hours upon hours resetting every time something bad happens during the run because of all the RNG. Especially now that Rotation 2 is out with the Hydra, and you have the Head of Wrath to deal with now, which can basically just one-shot your entire team whenever it feels like it. It's just not fun content, and if that's the direction the game is going to be going in, along with the focus on PvP in 2022, I just don't know how much longer I'm going to stick around for the ride, because I just don't really enjoy the game anymore. It's not fun. There's nothing really for me to do. I've pretty much pushed all the content that I could push. The only things I have left to really focus on are 3v3 Arena, which is not fun at all. There's Hard Doom Tower, which again is interesting content. It's challenging, but it's not really that enjoyable. And I just feel like they really need to put something in the game for us late game players so we can get back to really enjoying Raid. You know, I've got a new account that I started playing. I haven't played that account in 4 or 5 days now, obviously since I was on vacation and I didn't have time to focus on that. But that's really the only account I'm enjoying right now, because you have a sense of progression. You have a sense of actually accomplishing something within the game and getting that good feeling when you do actually progress and get through some milestones or get to new areas of the game, unlock new content, etc. And that feeling is really just missing for the late game experience. Even on my free-to-play account now, I'm getting to the point where I can pretty easily clear the normal Doom Tower. Really all I have left to work on is Faction Wars. We're obviously not going to finish that by the time Lydia rolls around on the free-to-play account. But it's just boring. There's really nothing to do there. I've got all my dungeon farming teams done. I'm just farming gear and silver all the time. There's just really nothing engaging about the game anymore. We don't really do Hydra too much on the free-to-play because we simply don't have the champions, which is another issue with Hydra, is that unless you have a very specific set of certain champions to go up against the certain heads, it's just very difficult to really get any enjoyment out of that content. But yeah, so, you know, I don't know. I'm going to let the next couple of weeks go by, try to get back into it. And the other problem is I really don't know what kind of content to make for Raid anymore. You know, I can do the starter series. People seem to be enjoying that. I'm actually getting a lot of good feedback on the starter series. My free-to-play and starter guides tend to be a little bit different than most because I do not focus at all on pulling shards, because that's like the biggest trap in this game. Really, I wish people, especially some of the bigger creators, would focus less on that and less on acquiring champions and actually showing just how effective you can be in the game if you just farm gear early on and get that speed gear. You know, the one thing a lot of people are seeing on my starter videos is, you know, just a couple of weeks of speed farming on stage 6 in the Brutal campaign, you can get 4 or 5 champions at 200 speed and you're all set. You just go out and do the content then. Once you're at that point, it doesn't really get that difficult. So I may try to continue that series. I just have to get back into it. It's been a couple days since I've been on that account. It's just about a month old. I should probably do a progress update. We did get Haikatune unlocked there and already have her at like 235 speed because we farmed a bunch of gear for her before we got her. So the arena's been pretty fun there. We're just basically farming silver 2 and 3, depending on how far back we get knocked each night. But that account's been really fun. That's been enjoyable, like I said, because we can see the progression. We can feel good about the progression. But that has just been missing from everything else. So I don't really know. The free-to-play content's kind of run its course. Everyone's been doing free-to-play series at this point, and I think our free-to-play account is past the point of really being useful for giving anybody advice or anything. So I don't know really what kind of videos we're going to do on that. That's why we haven't had a free-to-play Friday episode in a couple of weeks now. I just haven't felt like doing it because it's just like it's just the same thing over and over at this point. We're just farming gear, farming silver, so we can try to build up some of these new champions that we got. You see in this video on the free-to-play, we did recently get Harvest Jack and also were able to complete the fusion for Tatura. So that kind of showed me that this account has kind of matured to a good point because that was the first time we'd been able to finish a more traditional fusion. I felt that the Tatura fusion was pretty fair, pretty reasonable from Plarium. It wasn't as hard as Brogni, and we were able to get it done, so we got a new legendary there that we're going to work on. But again, it's like I just don't have any ideas for what to do with free-to-play anymore. It's like everything's been done a million times, and I think that's one thing with this game is the content's pretty stagnant right now. There's really not much out besides Hydra, and you're not really seeing too much on Hydra. Number one, because a lot of people aren't really quite sure what to run on it yet, and a lot of people also just simply don't enjoy it. That's the main reason I haven't really done any content on the Hydra, is I just don't like I don't enjoy it, don't like the content at all, and it's just like bashing your head against the wall every week just trying to get those 3 keys finished. Especially if you're missing some of the key champions. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've got to kind of figure out how to get back on the horse, so to speak. Figure out how to have fun with the game again, and see what kind of fun content I can come up with that's different than what, you know, every other raid content creator is doing, because pretty much all the content is done over and over. And I'm at the point now where I'm just pretty bored with what's in the game. I don't really watch anybody's videos anymore except for a very select few that deal with more higher end content. And yeah, I feel like the point I was at with Marvel Strike Force and Star Wars Galaxy Heroes about 2 years in, where I just got bored of the game and eventually wound up quitting. So I don't know if that's going to be what happens here with Raid, but that's kind of where I am right now. I just gotta have to figure things out and figure out what my future is gonna be with this game. I had considered walking away from the content program prior to New Year's, just because, like I said, I'm not really enthused or excited about making content for the game. And once you get to that point, it's like I could just mail it in. Obviously, every week I just have to do one video, but that's not the kind of person I don't want to just mail something in that's half-ass and you get my perks for that, because it just doesn't feel right. And I don't want to make content that people aren't going to watch because they know it's half-ass content. So that's kind of where I am right now. I've been playing some other games. I did pick up Halo Infinite for the Xbox, and I've really been enjoying that. I thought about jumping back into Warframe and trying it out, because it's been a long time since I played that game. It used to be my bread and butter game that most of the content on my channel still gets views for. But I'd have to relearn it, basically. It's been so long, and they changed things in Warframe to extreme, like every 2 to 3 months, so it'd probably take me a while to get back into the game to the point I could ever give advice on anything in it again. So I really don't know what I'm going to do here on YouTube or with Raid. Maybe we'll just start making some goofy champion videos again, like we were doing with the Uncommon series with Satyr and Saurus and all that. That was kind of fun. You know, I like to take some of those champions like Throat Cutter and go in the arena and kill a bunch of people with this Uncommon. Stuff like that's kind of fun. I just have to kind of figure out if that's something I want to get back into and waste the time and the gear and the silver trying to build up some of those lower end champions. So maybe that's something we'll get into, but I just don't know right now. If you guys have any ideas or anything you want to see, just throw it down below in the comments and let me know. But I think I'm just burned out on the game. And like I said, until they figure out a way to make the late game content more engaging, I think you're going to see a lot of players like myself start to get really disinterested in. And I can tell you, I haven't spent money on this game in well over a month at this point. I don't know when the Hydra came out, but it's basically been since the Hydra came out. I was just like, you know what? All I'm doing now is farming gear and silver. There's really nothing for me to play. There's no reason for me to buy anything in the game. There's nothing. Packs don't really excite me anyways, other than the occasional speed packs or the energy deals. And with taking a little bit of time off toward the end of the year, I was like, I just don't really even need the energy. Now I can get a bunch to the clan shop, each week. So I just haven't really felt the need to spend money, and I think you're going to see that happen with a lot of later game players until Plarium figures out some way to get us more engaged in the game. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I think I've been depressing enough as it is. I hope you guys had a happy holidays if you don't celebrate anything, or if you do, hope you had a really good Christmas and a good New Year's. Mine wasn't too bad, pretty good. But again, like I said, let me know down below what kind of content you would like to see possibly going forward. Let me know how you're doing right now with Raid, if you're feeling burned out, if you're just not enjoying the game anymore. If you like the Hydra boss, what you think the issues are in the game right now, so I can obviously try to convey those across to Plarium. Not that they're going to listen to anything, but we can always try. But as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you again next time.